Blast me too, Cyphos! It's time for the Mad Merlin's Warhammer 40,000 Imperium journey. Episode 29, Part 2, Mission. Hello and welcome back to my Imperium journey. So we're moving on with issues 29 today. And as the contents was a double bill, we are skipping the painting, as they are the same as our previous set of Necron warriors. So we're moving on with our playthrough, and we have first off a few new pages of rules. So this is a page detailing rules for dice that you use within your game. So you get your D6, your D3, it's all different modifiers that can apply, rounding fractions up for any modifiers, etc. Detail about rerolls, excuse me. And on the back we have rules about roll-offs. And finally we have about information about the size of units. So starting strength, half strength and destroyed. There's a little bit of information about what characterizes a unit as one of those three titles. So your starting strength unit would be your full starting unit as it's been deployed. Half strength is as long as it's half models or less. And then destroyed units are obviously units that have been wiped out. Second bit of rules information is all about data sheets. So this goes through all the different data sheets and what the different characteristics of those data sheets are. So we've got unit name, battlefield role, power rating, profiles. So this is your movement, the size of the unit, weapon skill, etc. Composition and war gear. So if there's anybody with a specific type of weaponry, it will be held here. Whether it's an understrength unit and how you can field them. Abilities, including aura abilities and army abilities. And weapons, war gear, and finally keywords. Then we got a data sheet, an entry here for modifying characteristics, and damage tables at the bottom. Finally, before we move on, we have data sheets for our librarian in Phobos armor and the aggressor squad. So these are our full data sheets for the units. It does say here we got 2 to 5 aggressors, so if you've doubled up on your unit, then it's a good idea that you've got a full option here of fielding more than what we get in the Conquest subscription, which is nice. And our librarian is just the one, he's a single unit. So we've got his rules, Angel's Death, and concealed positions, which will be detailed on separate sheets. Psychic Hood, which is unique to him, and his abilities are for the psychic powers. So he knows Smite and 2 powers from the Obscuration discipline, which is on Factions 7. So the aggressors, it's not the full data sheet. It hasn't got the options to swap out the weapons for Boltstorm gauntlets and the missile pods, but it's a pretty good data sheet anyway with the Flamestorms. Like I said, it's good that they've given us the option of having 2 to 5 members in a squad. So if you've got extras, all the better. On the back, we got a few little tricks and tips for using those units. So we've got the camo cloak and auto hit weapons. And then how the Flamestorm gauntlets actually work for shooting. Excuse me. Right. I'll set up our battlefield and we'll get on with our next mission. Scout Mission 6, Valkyrie Down. So this is page 7 of the Scout Mission pack. Okay, so we're all set up and we're ready for our mission, Valkyrie Down. The Battle of Cyphos is not just limited to the ground. Imperial gunships patrol the skies doing battle with Necron aircraft in a desperate attempt to maintain air superiority and ferry in reinforcements. In one of Cyphos' battle-scarred Factorum districts, a transport has been shot down by Necron fire. operating behind enemy lines, the Primaris Librarian and a small group of Space Marines have been directed to locate the crashed vessel and extract any survivors they can find. Necrons, storm and secure. Relentless advance. Necrons, storm and secure. Relentless advance. Necron forces must overrun the crash site and prevent the Imperium from extracting the transport's cargo and crew. Canoptic constructs, accompanied by a unit of Necron immortals, swarm towards the Space Marines' defensive positions, seeking to overrun and destroy them as swiftly as possible. Space Marines, cover the evac. On the defensive. The Space Marines cannot afford to divert many of their forces to assist the evacuation. A Primaris Librarian and a single squad of aggressors are all that can be spared. Outnumbered, they must use the ruins to their advantage and draw the Necrons into a killing field of rubble and shattered buildings. So, our mission is literally a hold at all costs sort of mission. We got a Librarian and 3 aggressors here who need to hold the crashed Valkyrie, which is the objective marker. Crates and reactor are representing our ruins. And then we got debris from the craft in the form of our barrels and crates. On the Necron side, we've got a Canoptic Spider, 6 Scarabs, and our 5 Immortals. So this goes for 5 battle rounds, and it is up to whoever holds the objective at the end of the 5th round. If the Necrons can do so, they win. If the Space Marines manage to hold out till the 5th round, they are victorious. So we'll take a blue and green dice, and we'll see who goes first. It's the Ultramarines of a 5. So, I'll play turn 1 and we'll see how we're going to go from there. Turn 1 went just as much as expected. The Ultramarines just moved forward to control the objective at the centre of the crash zone, while the Necrons ran up the board. The Spider did shoot with its particle beamer, but the aggressors managed to shrug off those shots, luckily. So it is now down to turn 2, and this is where things could actually change. Okay, end of turn 2. It was a grueling turn. We lost 2 aggressors to Scarabs, although one was from shooting from the Immortals. The Immortals didn't bother getting stuck in. They thought the Scarabs and the Spider could do it, and they actually managed to do it. Librarians lost 3 wounds from the Spider, and the Scarabs have just swarmed the aggressors. They got 10 auto wounds on their hit rolls, and 1 extra bonus wound from actually rolling to wound. So the Ultramarines still need to hold a position, so it's on to turn 3, and we'll see if we can make back something. Those Necrons think it's all over, and well, it is, because the Ultramarines have been sadly wiped out to the man. They didn't go down without taking a enemy with them. They did wipe out 1 swarm of Scarabs. 1 swarm of Scarabs. So much for the Imperium's finest. But I do think that it was a little bit of a overpowered match on the Necron side of things. That Spider, when it does good in combat, it can shred through a lot of things, because it's -3 and strength 8. Hitting on 4s, but you wound on 2s, and it's a -3 to the armor and 2 damage a shot, so that's killing an intercessor. Scarabs actually did pretty well. It's just mass number of attacks, which serves them pretty well. And the Immortals did their job in shooting. Tactics-wise, I think changing up, I'd keep the Ultramarines back a little bit, let the Necrons come to them, and try and pick them out squad at a time. Use the terrain a little bit better, perhaps. and hold close to a container, take out one unit, then move to the next, hopefully. Psychic phase could have gone better. It was a bit overpowered for the Necrons, as usual for my librarian. He rolls too low for his psychic casting, and the enemies rolled too high for the denying. Definitely worth having that spider around, I think. So that's all there is for that. I'll do our next Imperium then. So what's in our next Imperium? I can find the right page. So, in issue 30, we get 2 new paints, Mephiston Red and Mournfang Brown. We learn about successor chapters, and we get some new data sheets of the Scorpec Destroyers and the Plasma Sight. And issue 30 is going to be a good one. We hit our first piece of new terrain, which is the storage phase. We learn how to paint our terrain, and we have a core rules section about the movement phase. So, a couple of good issues coming up soon. Hopefully, the next delivery should be here, if not this week, definitely next week. And there'll be a video up as soon as it does arrive. And I'll be filming issue 30, hopefully end of the week, and it'll be up by the weekend. So, all that's left for me to do is thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to help the channel out, there's of course my affiliate link, my Buy Me a Coffee page, social medias, and my eBay page. So I'll see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.